Yo, horror fans, what's the scariest thing in the fog? Hooves thundering closer, a cloaked figure charging with a flaming sword, no head, just pure vengeance. Tim Burton's Sleepy Hollow, 1999, turned Washington Irving's legend into nightmare fuel, and the Headless Horseman steals every scene he's in. Today, full Headless Horseman explained. His Hessian origin, the curse that binds him, powers breakdown, strength, immortality vibe, horse bond, axe mastery, how Lady Van Tassel controls him, movie twists versus original tale, and why that skull return scene still hits hard. Sleepy Hollow 1999 curse lore, Headless Horseman powers, and the big debate, curse broken for good or not. Grab a drink, kill the lights, chills ahead, let's ride into his world. Quick question to kick off, is the Horseman just a revenge tool, or something way darker? Drop your take in the comments right now, smash like if you're hyped, subscribe if you're not in yet, and help us hit 500 subs. Share this if you dare. The curse, how and why. He was cursed. Now the real darkness kicks in, the curse itself. In Burton's Sleepy Hollow, 1999, the Headless Horseman isn't just some random ghost hunting for his lost skull. He's a weapon, bound by blood magic and controlled like a puppet. It all starts with Lady Mary Van Tassel, Miranda Richardson, the film's big bad. She's obsessed with power and revenge. Years earlier, the Van Garrett family, rich landowners, murdered her father and took their land. Mary wants it back, so she digs up dark Hessian sorcery. She finds the Horseman's grave, steals his skull from its resting place, and performs a ritual to bind his spirit to her will. The curse turns him into her personal assassin. He only kills who she names, no questions asked. As long as she holds the skull, he's forced to obey. It's literally his leash. The rules are brutal and clear. The Horseman can't rest until he gets his head back. He rides out every night when summoned, decapitates the target, and brings the head to Mary so she can collect it. She keeps them in a bag like trophies. If the skull is ret-earned to his body, the curse breaks and he can finally die for good. That's why the whole movie builds to Ichabod figuring out who's controlling him and getting that skull. Compared to other movie curses, this one's personal and transactional. It's not like a generic haunted by a demon thing. It's straight up slavery through magic. Lady Van Tassel uses old Hessian occult books to pull it off, which ties back to the Revolutionary War era when Hessian mercenaries brought their own dark folklore to America. Burton amps the gore and gothic vibe. The Horseman's kills are messy, heads roll, literally, and every time he appears, the fog thickens like the curse is bleeding into the world. This setup makes him scarier than Irving's playful ghost. He's not choosing victims, he's trapped in eternal service, killing for someone else's grudge. That mix of tragedy and unstoppable rage is what keeps fans debating. Is he a monster, or just the ultimate victim of the curse? Powers and abilities. Detailed. Alright, let's get into the fun and terrifying part. What this headless freak can actually do in the movie. The Headless Horseman isn't just some ghost on a horse. He's a walking, galloping nightmare machine, and Burton made sure every power feels brutal and unstoppable. First off, superhuman strength and durability. This dude cuts through people like butter. He decapitates victims with a single swing of his sword or axe, and he doesn't even flinch when shots are fired at him. In the scene where he attacks the notary, he smashes through a wooden door like it's cardboard. Bullets? They bounce off or barely slow him down. His body is basically a cursed shell, dead but animated by dark magic so pain doesn't register. He keeps coming even after taking hits that would drop a normal man instantly. Then there's the horse bond. Daredevil isn't a normal horse. He's part of the curse. The Horseman and Daredevil move as one unit. Perfect sync, insane speed, and the ability to leap impossible distances. Watch the chase scenes. The horse jumps over fallen trees, charges through thick woods at full gallop without missing a step, and never tires. It's like the horse is an extension of the Horseman's will. In the final showdown, Daredevil even rears up and attacks on command, showing the bond is almost telepathic. Weapons-wise, he's got the flaming sword and throwing pumpkins. The sword isn't just sharp, it's on fire, giving it that demonic glow, and he wields it with precision despite no head. How does he aim? Magic, baby. The pumpkins are straight-up explosives. He throws them like grenades, and they burst into flames on impact. Iconic moment. He lobs one at Brombones during the bridge fight, and it explodes in a fireball. Classic Halloween horror touch that Burton nailed. Near immortality is the big one. He can't be killed until his skull is returned. Cut off his arm, he picks it up and keeps going. Shoot him in the chest, he laughs it off, well, if he had a head to laugh with. The only way to stop him is to reunite head and body, which is why the whole climax revolves around that moment. Once the skull is back in place, the curse snaps, he rides off into the afterlife finally free. But until then, unstoppable. Visually and practically, Ray Park brought the physicality. He did most of the stunt riding and sword work, wearing a black hood so his head was hidden in post-production. ILM added the fire effects and some CGI for the more impossible jumps, but a low T of it was practical. Real horse stunts, real swords, real explosions. That mix makes him feel tangible, not cartoonish. All these powers tie back to the curse. They're not superhero abilities, they're twisted gifts from hellish magic. Strength without pain, speed without fatigue, immortality without peace. It's what makes him terrifying. He's not fighting for glory or survival, he's just obeying the curse, killing, until someone stops it. So yeah, the Horseman is a perfect blend of physical threat and supernatural dread. No wonder he still ranks among the best movie monsters. How the curse works in the movie. Now let's see how this curse actually plays out in Sleepy Hollow, 1999. It's not Jay as background lore, it's the engine driving every kill and twist. Lady Van Tassel is the puppet master. She's not summoning a random ghost. She's got the Horseman on a short leash because she holds his skull. The curse forces him to obey whoever possesses the head, kill the named target, bring the head back, repeat. No free will, no mercy. It's like a demonic hitman contract. Mary points, he delivers. The kills follow a clear pattern tied to her revenge plan. She targets the Van Garrett heirs and anyone who knows too much about the land dispute. First the judge, who signed the will, then the notary, the magistrate, the doctor. Each death removes obstacles to her claiming the fortune. The Horseman doesn't choose, he just executes. That's why the murders feel mechanical at first, until Ichabod starts connecting dots and realizes it's not a supernatural killer on the loose, it's targeted hits. Key moments show the curse in action. The bridge scene. Brom Bones challenges him, gets decapitated. The Horseman could have ignored him, but Mary probably named Brom as a loose end. The forest chases. He appears out of nowhere in the fog, like the curse warps reality around him. The mist isn't just atmosphere, it's part of how the magic hides him. The pumpkin throw, he uses it as a weapon when the target fights back. Showing the curse gives him tools to finish the job. Ichabod Crane flips the script. He starts as a skeptic, no such thing as ghosts, but the evidence piles up. Heads missing, the same rider every time, the pattern of victims. When he discovers the skull is missing from the Horseman's grave and Lady Van Tassel has it, everything clicks. The climax is all about breaking the chain, return the skull, end the obedience. The curse works because it's personal and limited. No world-ending apocalypse, just one vengeful woman weaponizing a dead soldier. That makes it scarier. It's human greed using supernatural force. Fans still debate if the Horseman felt anything during the kills, or if he was just a blank slate, until the head went back on. Differences between movie and original legend. One of the coolest things about Sleepy Hollow, 1999, is how Tim Burton took Washington Irving's short story and flipped it on its head while keeping the core spirit. In the original 1820 tale, the Headless Horseman is basically a prankster ghost. He's a Hessian soldier who got his head blown off in the Revolutionary War, and he rides around Sleepy Hollow looking for it, but he's more spooky than murderous. He throws pumpkins at people, chases Ichabod Crane to scare him off, and vanishes when he hits the bridge. No real killing spree, no dark magic, no revenge plot. It's folk horror with a light touch. The headless thing is mostly rumor, and the story ends with Ichabod disappearing after a chase, probably just scared away or run out of town. The Horseman feels like a local legend, used to explain weird happenings, not a central villain. Burton turns all that upside down. He makes the Horseman a full-on supernatural killer, not a trickster. The curse becomes the main plot driver. Lady Van Tassel controls him with the stolen skull, turning him into her personal executioner. Irving's ghost is aimless. Burton's is targeted and brutal. The pumpkin becomes an explosive weapon instead of a joke. The horse, Daredevil, is demonic instead of just spooky, and the decapitations are gory and graphic, thanks to the 90s practical effects. Burton adds the whole Hessian occult Ang Lee blood pacts and Lady Van Tassel's revenge scheme, which isn't in the book at all. Ichabod goes from a superstitious schoolteacher to a rational detective who solves the mystery, which gives the story a detective vibe Irving never had. These changes make the Horseman way scarier and more memorable. The original is charmingly eerie. The movie is dark, bloody, and gothic. Fans love debating which version captures the true legend better, Irving's playful folklore or Burton's nightmare fuel. Both work, but Burton's take is what made the Horseman a horror icon. Differences between movie and original legend. One of the coolest things about Sleepy Hollow, 1999, is how Tim Burton took Washington Irving's short story and flipped it while keeping the eerie core. In the original 1820 tale, The Legend of Sleepy Hollow, the Headless Horseman is more of a spooky prankster than a killer. He's a Hessian soldier beheaded in the Revolutionary War, riding around looking for his lost head. But he doesn't go on a murder spree. He throws pumpkins at people to scare them, chases Ichabod Ichabod Crane to run him out of town, and vanishes at the bridge. It's classic American folklore. Mysterious, a bit funny, no real blood, and the headless part might even be exaggerated rumor. Ichabod disappears after the chase, probably just scared off or moved away. The Horseman feels like a local ghost story used to explain odd events, not the main threat. Burton turns that upside down. He makes the Horseman a full supernatural assassin controlled by dark magic. The curse is the heart of the plot. Lady Van Tassel uses the stolen skull to force him to kill specific targets for her revenge. Irving's ghost is aimless and playful. Burton's is targeted, brutal, and tragic. The pumpkin becomes a flaming explosive weapon instead of a joke. The horse daredevil is demonic and tireless, not just spooky. Decapitations are graphic and gory thanks to 90s practical effects and Ray Park stunts. Burton adds the whole Hessian occult backstory, blood pacts, and Lady Van Tassel's scheme, none of which exist in the book. Ichabod shifts from superstitious schoolteacher to rational detective solving a mystery, giving the film a detective horror twist Irving never had. These changes make the Horseman infinitely scarier and more iconic. The original is charmingly creepy folklore. The movie is dark, bloody gothic terror. Fans still argue which captures the true legend better, Irving's light mystery or Burton's nightmare fuel. Both hit hard, but Burton's version is what cemented the Horseman as a horror legend. The final resolution and lingering mysteries. So how does the Headless Horseman story wrap up in Sleepy Hollow, 1999? After all the blood-soaked nights and pumpkin explosions, everything comes crashing down in the church graveyard. Ichabod finally snatches the skull from Lady Van Tassel and tosses it straight to the Horseman. The second that head reconnects, snap, the curse shatters. The rage drains from him, his body straightens up, and for the first time, we see something almost human in those dead eyes. He looks right at Lady Van Tassel, the woman who enslaved him, grabs her, throws her over the saddle, and rides off into the fog with her screaming. It's cold, satisfying justice. The puppet turns on the puppeteer. The Horseman disappears for good, carrying her to whatever dark place waits beyond. But here's the part that keeps fans arguing even in 2026. Is the curse really gone forever? The movie shows him riding away, whole again, no more nightly rides or forced kills. The fog clears, the kills stop, and Ichabod rides off with Katrina. Yet Burton lingers on that empty grave, the eerie score swells, and we never get a hard, he's defeated moment. Some fans say he's finally at peace. Others think the magic could pull him back if someone else finds a way to steal his head again. That ambiguity is pure Burton. Gothic stories don't end clean. This resolution hits hard because it humanizes the monster. He wasn't born evil. War took his head, greed stole his freedom, and magic turned him into a weapon. Getting his skull back isn't victory, it's release. The Horseman goes from terrifying force to tragic figure in one swing. That lingering what if is why the character sticks with you. Liking how this ties it all together, want to amp up the tragedy angle, add more on the final scene, or tweak anything, and there you have it, the complete breakdown of the Headless Horseman in Tim Burton's Sleepy Hollow, 1999. From his Hessian soldier roots in the Revolutionary War, to the dark curse that turned him into Lady Van Tassel's personal killer, the insane powers that made him unstoppable in the fog, and that epic final moment where the skull snaps back and the curse shatters. We saw how Burton took Washington Irving's playful ghost story and cranked it to full gothic horror, adding blood, magic, and tragedy to make the Horseman one of the most memorable movie monsters ever. Quick recap on the big beats. The Horseman starts as a brutal mercenary beheaded in battle, his skull stolen to fuel a curse of eternal service. He only kills who Mary Van Tassel names, brings the heads back as trophies, and can't be stopped until the skull returns. Powers like super strength, demonic horse bond, flaming sword, explosive pumpkins, and near immortality make him a force of nature. The movie builds to that graveyard climax. Ichabod throws the head, the Horseman grabs his master, rides off into the mist, and peace, maybe, finally comes. But Burton leaves that tiny doubt. Is he gonna for good, or could the curse call him back someday? That ambiguity keeps the chills alive years later. Culturally, the Horseman became a Halloween staple thanks to this film. The jack-o'-lantern head, the flaming effects, the foggy rides, it's all iconic now. Ray Park's stunts and ILM's mix of practical and CGI made him feel real in a way no remake has matched. Sleepy Hollow, 1999, Headless Horseman Explained still gets fans rewatching just to see those chase scenes. The character isn't just a villain, he's a tragic figure trapped in someone else's revenge, which adds layers that make him more than a slasher. So what do you think? Is the Horseman pure monster, or the ultimate victim of war and greed? Did Burton improve Irving's legend, or take away its charm? Drop your thoughts in the comments comments right now. I read everyone and love the debates. We're super close to 500 subscribers here on the channel. If this deep dive gave you chills, made you want to rewatch Sleepy Hollow, or just taught you something new about the lore, help us hit that milestone. Smash that like button if you're hype, subscribe if you're not already, turn on notifications so you don't miss the next breakdown, and share this video with your horror crew. Let's get this thing blowing up together. Thanks for riding along with me through the fog. Stay spooky, keep the comments coming, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.